Hey everyone, welcome back to a redo of my first video ever, So You Want to Be a Dungeon Master. If you like the new camera, let me know, so that way I know to keep using it. So, step 1 of becoming a new Dungeon Master, as I've seen a number of posts on the D&D subreddit, down below, of people wanting to become Dungeon Masters and begin playing Dungeons & Dragons for the first time ever. So, how do you do it? Well, simple. You get these two books, Player's Handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide. You can either get the PDFs or get the actual hard books, which are $50 per pop. I got these on discount because of a lovely little sale that was going on. So they were about 30 bucks per pop. And yeah. So the Player's Handbook and the Dungeon Master's Guide are the key rules that you need. The Monster Manual, while it is helpful, is not overly important, as really you can look up any monster stat on the internet like that. So just be mindful of that. These are the really only two books you need. And dice. You need one set of dice for each player and one set for yourself. And make sure to keep them separate because most players tend to be paranoid and say, oh, well, Johnny's rolling like crap. I don't want him touching my dice. Let him use his own dice and I'll use mine. And we're a paranoid bunch like that. So that's step 1, familiarizing yourself with the rules, making sure you have dice. Step 2, determine the type of campaign you want to run. That's very important as well. Is it a horror campaign? Is it a mystery campaign? Is it a normal hack and slash? Or maybe a grand adventure? That is very important. And also, determine how long the campaign, or essentially game, is going to last. Is it going to be a 2 or 3 hour session? And also, is it a one-shot game? Or is it a long campaign? Now, I've had some one-shots that went together and eventually became a long campaign. That's something entirely similar, actually. Because you can just do that. Just play a bunch of different one-shots that are close nearby each other in a geographical area, and run it together as one big campaign. So, that's step 2. Step 3 is write the first few encounters. I normally write the first 3 encounters, essentially the first 3 sessions that I want the players to go through. And I use them to gauge the players' ability to interact with each other, as well as how they interact with the world that I'm presenting them. This is very important as it gives you essentially a building block to build the rest of the campaign off of. So you take the first 3 sessions, and after you've determined how well or how ways your players are going to interact with everything, including each other, you move on to step 4, which is always write 2 sessions ahead. If you wrote the first 3 sessions like I did, when you get to session 2, you should write session 4. When you get to session 3, you write session 5. And the reason being is that you're always ahead of your players and always prepared. Also, do remember to actually write those sessions, because even though you might miss one chance of writing and you'll still have that one buffer, if you don't keep up that pace, you're going to end up like me one time and trying to scramble something together 30 minutes before the gaming group gets together to play a game. This has happened to me multiple times because I decided, nah, it'll be fine. So, after step 4, you've already planned everything. Always remember this golden rule with step 4. Be ready to change or modify anything that you write down for a session. And I do mean anything. Be ready to change character names, character interactions, character stats, what has who, what, where, and when. Be ready to change all of it at the drop of a hat. Because the players will sometimes go squirrel and run off that way. Because it's there. Anyways, that's step 4. Step 5. Don't be stingy with gold, or magic items, or experience points. And at the same time, don't give too much. If you give too much, you might become a Monty Hall Dungeon Master, which is essentially someone who overloads the players with too much gold, too much experience, and too much magic items, and essentially makes them too powerful to deal with, essentially, for anything else that you throw against them. If you got level 5 taking on CR 12 monsters like they were, a cakewalk, you have messed up. That's as simple as that. You have messed up. There's a small little discussion out there of how to best describe CR for your players and what they should probably be balanced about. I'll do another video about that. But at the moment, just remember these key things. The challenge rating also normally determines how much gold or loot that they have. And this is also described in the Dungeon Master's Handbook, or Dungeon Master's Guide, because it is very important to the entire thing. So, Once again, don't be too stingy, but at the same time, don't be too giving. You kind of want to find a nice balance out there, and the Dungeon Master's Guide helps you find that balance. And finally, step 6, which is the most important of all of these steps, as well as the most important thing when it comes to Dungeons & Dragons. Have fun. I really mean that. Have fun. The reason being is any one of these rules can be broken, ignored, or just modified slightly in order for you and your players to have fun. And the key thing is to have fun, because if you're not having fun, your players will know that you're not having fun, and it'll make it less fun for them. So have fun and focus on that more than anything else. So, anyways, I believe that's everything I wanted to go through. Just good luck.